Yo, what is up, guys? What is poppin'? We are back with some nice NPL content versus my boy Ashley and his Houston Hardens. Pretty threatening squad. I think he's 3-3 heading into this week, maybe 2-4. But yeah, his team is kind of nuts. Lots of offense, lots of breaking power, some decent bulk on there too. So we had to come up with a hot prep. As you know, we are 5-1 heading into this week. My boy Malintosh, who also was 5-1 heading into it, thankfully caught an L. So if we win this win this match versus Ash, we um, take over. Like we were in first place in the conference, but we will be one game ahead of Melon if we win this one. So it's a pretty big game. Ash is also in our conference, so like he is a potential playoff opponent, but I'm trying to win here, so I get the nice first seed for the playoffs. I don't bring a bullshit spot versus him just to make sure that I like get my best team for playoffs and shit like that. I'm not about this today. I'm trying to win. So team I brought, pretty cool team indeed. Got a lot of win cons on there. Got a nice Scarf Lando, very fat. I think I'm like adamant with 60 EVs. Enough speed to creep like an adamant D Knight or a mon that creeps adamant D Knight. Also creeping, I think like maybe um, maybe modest Rotom, but like modest Scarf, but I'm not sure. Maybe I'm not creeping it. I'm probably creeping like a modest Rotom that creeps a Dragonite creep. We got Earthquake, Stone Edge, and U-turn, as well as Defog. Pretty solid overall. It gets up a Defog. There's a lot of stuff because it threatens so much out. Especially like if he's like a non-ice punch or non-ice punch Mawile or Mawile that doesn't have enough bulk to live an earthquake. Which like it would need a lot of bulk to live one, but you never know. But anyway, we got a nice SD Roost Scissor. Lots of attack element. I think I'm like 140 attack, which is a lot. We got knockoff Bullet Punch Roost SD. Contemplate a lot between Superpower and knockoff because my boy Ash also has a Cobalion, but I felt like Cobalion wasn't as big of a threat as other mons, so I opted for knock. And knock can potentially like catch Gliscor on the switch in. I haven't used knockoff that often this season, so if he scouted my games, he knows that I'm unlikely to knock. But if I get the chance to knock early, and potentially like get rid of the Gliscor's toxic poison orb, toxic orb, that would be nice. Got a nice Quiver Volcarona here with dual stab and roost. It's like very slow. I only get like 20 EVs in speed to outrun Starmie at +1, which is his fastest mon. I'm mostly physically defensive, like I'm max HP and 188 defense or something to never be 2 KO'd by Adamant Player from Mawile. That's like 49.8 max, which is important. I really need my entire team to check Mawile pretty much because I don't have a dedicated switch in. Um, if I have to switch in on it, it's probably gonna be Mawile because I can roost off on the next, and I got a Chardy Berry if he wants to um, rock slide me on the switch in, and yeah, I can live a hit after rocks, and I can get a Flame Body off. We also got a nice dual stab, very speedy Tapu Fini with Carmine and Protect. Really goes fucking in versus team. Pretty much everything bar the bar the Cradle is bobbed at +2 and can't really touch me after that. So like Rotom can't really do much if it's a defensive Rotom, which I expect like for Scissor and Volt. It can't really touch me once I'm at +2. Then like a Volt Switch will do like 30, maybe 35. I'm max HP, lots of special attack, and like enough speed for Adamant D Knight again. Lantern here is a nice death variant with lefties, Volt Switch Scald, and double status with Toxic and Thunder Wave. Thunder Wave here to catch like a D Knight that wants to set up, and Toxic maybe for the Rotom if he wants to switch in on me, but like he doesn't really have a reason. It's also there for Cradily obviously, so hitting that with the Toxic would be nice. And last but not least is a nice Bronzer with the Cobra Berry, Stealth Rock, 3 attacks, Earthquake, Garibald, and HP Ice. Um, Pretty solid overall. Can't really touch Starmie or Rotom, but it's like 2 Chaos, offensive Gliscor, and Dragonite with HP Ice once obviously rocks are up. It's Garibald and Earthquake do some decent chip to Marwell. If Marwell is speedy, Garibald actually does like a solid chunk, like 30, 35 maybe. And like Earthquake obviously is a 2 KO after like if it's offensive it's a 2 KO or a 3 KO. I don't know. I'm running some attack investment for sure, but I forgot about the card. But anyway, this match definitely gonna be tough, but I think if I'm able to Toxic to Cradily and chip it down, I can easily win with my Finny on my Volk, so that's gone. If I get rid of Starmie and Rotom and like this, and if this Gliscor is not Fire Fang, my Scissor can win too, so that's pretty clean. Anyway, I decide to lead off with my Sis, predicting him to maybe want to get a Rocks early with Cradily or Gliscor, because Rocks like obviously prevent me from Volt turning around with my Volturn Core, and they prevent a Volcarona from coming in and firing off like Bug Buzzes or Flamethrowers. He doesn't really have great switch-ins for it, besides like Dragonite or Rotom, but those two can be caught by Willows or Toxics, or can be lured by pretty much you turning on them and going into a counter. So I figured Scissor was a nice nice option here. I really contemplated knocking here on this turn, but I didn't want to get bopped by a Life Orb Hydro Pump. It wouldn't have knocked me out, neither would have a Life Orb HP Fire, but it would have done a fuck ton, and I didn't really want to risk damage on my Scissor because it's so solid in the late game, and it's one of my best ways to deal with Cradily, so I decided to switch out, make the safe play into Lantern as he goes into Rotom Heat Saw. This Rotom, the way it comes in, it's probably like a defensive variant, just because like it comes in hard on Scissor, and like if it's not physically defensive, like a knockoff that's over 50 to a Rotom. So I figured this is mostly physically defensive probably. And yeah, Lantern covering this play as well, so that's pretty clean. Was covering like the HP Fire and Hydro Pump, but also was covering the Rotom Heat. Yeah, I think I Toxic, yeah, I tried to catch the Cradily, but I miss. That's very unfortunate on this turn. I know like Giga Drain doesn't do much versus me, so I'm like, yeah, let's just Toxic again, but now he's obviously gone hard into Gliscor, threatening me out. As I miss another Toxic actually, but like obviously it doesn't matter because he has the Toxic off. And I can go into my Sis here, and I think I knock on this turn, predicting him to want to switch out. I probably should have roosted scouting for the Fire Fang, but I wanted to get some chip, and I wanted to get rid of like a Helmet or Lefties and roll them if he wanted to switch into that. So he goes for the Fire Fang, puts me low, which is kind of unfortunate, but not the end of the world. I can easily roost up on Cradily, and I can potentially roost up on Mawile as well if it doesn't pack coverage for Gliscor. So he reads Fire Fang, which is good to know because that means probably he doesn't have Taunt, and probably means that Cradily is his rocker and shit like that. So I can go into my Volkis. He makes a very good play, goes for knock. I contemplated roosting there, but I was like, yeah, Cradily is the freest roost of my life, so why risk Scissor there? But he makes a very nice play, gets rid of my Shardy Berry. Here I pull another switch, I think. No, I just go for the roost, yeah. True, double later, I think, on Gliscor, but he goes hard into Dragonite, and I'm like, what is this? Like, this might be a Z variant, but in prep, I really thought this might be like a special lure or something for Landorus, for Scissor, for Finny with like T-Bolt, Ice Beam, Fire Blast coverage, which really is a very nice breaker versus my squad. Maybe even with the Z move on there, like the Z Thunder or something for the Finny. Definitely want to scout for all these attacks, and unless he goes for the Fire Blast, which I really don't expect because that doesn't hit Finny on the switch in, I want to scout for that and go into my Zonga here, which covers all plays pretty much, even if he like drops a Z-Fly on me, Zonga covers that. And yeah, he goes for the Earthquake here, and I'm like, oh cool, yeah, I look great on this play. And now I go get up my rocks, I think, as he switches out. And the way he switches out means like he might not have Fire Punch or Fire Blast for Bronzong, and he might be locked in, he might be a Scarf Lure, he might be banded, who knows. But goes into Rotom, I can go hard into my Lantern here. He goes into Starmie, probably trying to spin these away, but I can go for the Volt Switch and do a fuck ton. He reads the Life Orb, gets rid of my rocks, but I put him at 25, which allows me to go into my Lando, which is Scarf, and I can just U-turn out. I could be bluffing here, but I think now it's pretty obvious that I'm Scarf. It doesn't really matter too much. Scarf doesn't come in handy really versus team once Starmie is gone. So maybe I can go hard Lando later on the Gliscor, because that might go for knock and knock off my Scarf, which opens up my stuff a little bit more. So yeah, Rotom comes in. On the U-turn, I can go into my Lantern. I go for the Skull Tip, trying to catch Gliscor on the switch in. At this point, like, this Gliscor later reveals to be non-EQ, and it takes me like 500 turns to figure that out. Really, Cradley comes in. I'm like, you know what? Let me try and Scald again. He probably doesn't want to risk the Toxic, but just gets up his rocks. Like, had I Toxic here, this game would have been so heavily in my favor. It's not even funny. I go for the Scald a third time, trying to catch Gliscor, but yeah, he doesn't want to go Gliscor here. And like, I'm trying to catch Gliscor because Gliscor is a nuisance for my team. Like, Lando needs Gliscor gone, Scissor needs Gliscor gone. Bronzong can be Gliscor 1 versus 1, but it's not like the best counter, best check for it. Anyway, he goes Starmie, and I'm like, just clicking Scout, I think. Oh no, I'm clicking Volt Switch, but I know he's killing himself with the Life of Recall there, so no big deal. Rocks are up, but I can always defog them away with my Lander, I'm sure. And now this thing comes in, and I'm like, yeah, what does it do? I already revealed the Zonga as my switch in. I'm pretty sure he wants to cover this option this time, so I don't think he would go for Earthquake. He probably wants to, like, if he has a Bandit variant, he probably wants to go for Fire Punch, which catches Zong on the switch and catches Scissor, catches Lando even, like does a solid chunk to Lando and can potentially get a burn. And like, he probably, like, after I didn't go hard Finny on Dragonite earlier, he probably knows that I'm not going hard Finny here. So I'm like, yeah, he's probably going for the Fire Punch. So I stay in and go for the T-Wave, and I get him there. And he does 17%, revealing that he is so adamant Bandit. It's not even funny. So yeah, like, he could be Jolly Band, but that would have needed like a super high roll, I think. I'm pretty sure this is adamant. Like, it's his best set versus me. Doesn't really need to creep anything with a Jolly D-Knight unless he like predicts me to be aggressive with my speed creeps, which I was, but he doesn't know that 100%. So anyway, I can go for the Volt Switch here, I think. No, I go for the Scald again. Yeah, trying to get Rotom or Gliscor or something on the switch, and I knew he was gonna switch out. Like, he doesn't want to have his multi-scale broken just yet, so I'm not worried about Cradley coming in. And here I'm like, yeah, fuck this thing. I'm going to switch hard into Bronzong, because if he goes Gliscor now, I don't want to Volt Switch and give him even more momentum, and I can also catch him on a Toxic, which is exactly what I do. I think I double out into Lando, trying to get Defog off versus the Gliscor, and if he knocks, he's getting rid of my Scarf, which is great for me. So I'm clicking Defog here, as yeah, I lower his attack. He goes for the knock after 70%, knocking off my Choice Scarf. And like, I don't know how speedy this Gliscor is. It might be very speedy, but it also has some attack EVs, like at least 100 attack EVs to do that much damage. So I wasn't sure if he's like max HP, lots of attack, and then like lots of bulk and not a lot of speed. But he actually reveals to be faster than my Lando and gets off the Ice Fang. I flinch, which is on board, but not the end of the world, because like, I just clicked U-turn there, but I probably should have scouted for the Ice Fang. But with Knockoff and Fire Fang, I was so sure that he was Earthquake and Roost, that I like didn't think of him being like Ice Fang. But now it like still doesn't really hit me during this game that he is actually no Earthquake on Gliscor. I will Scald again, I think, with my Lantern later, but doesn't really matter too much. Anyway, I go into my Finny on the Ice Fang, and I think I pull a double switch into my Scissor, trying to catch the Cradley and get up a free Roost, which is nice. He goes into Mawile, and I'm like, yeah, fuck, that's kind of annoying, but not the end of the world. I think I go hard into my Volt here, on a potential Fire Punch / Play Rough. If he wants to make a prediction or something, then I won't stay in with Scissor, but yeah, I can go Volt here. And that works out fine for me, because Gliscor is 2 KO'd by my Volcarona because my flamethrower and I have a bunch of EVs in special attack, like 60 or something. So I can just go for the flamethrower here. It covers the Cradily switching because it does like 25 to 30 to split that Cradily. It breaks the multi-scale on Dragonite if that wants to come in, and it 2 Chaos Gliscor. And if it goes Rotom, that thing gets shipped down by Flamethrower, which helps my Scissor out a lot. So all in all, very solid for me. Now Dragonite comes in. I switch out into Zonga again as he gets paralyzed. I don't know what he clicked there, but if he didn't click Fire Punch, like if he clicked Earthquake or something, that was pretty bad for me because now he has a free Fire Punch. But I really don't want to switch in Lantern hard on this because I'm only at 55%. I don't want to go hard Finny in case he wants to like click another move. So I just go for the HPIs. He does 62 with the Fire Punch, which is a very, very low roll. So maybe he was Jolly all along, but he definitely is Bandit. I can do 51 with Hidden Power. As Robin comes in, I go into Finny on the Fire Punch, and I can switch out into Lando on the Volt. Trying to stunt a little here. Go Lando, go back into Finny on the Overheat, or on the potential Overheat, or Willow, but he goes for HPIs there, which is a smart play. And now I go into my Lantern, trying to get some HP back, catching him on the Volt Switch, and that works out perfectly. So this gives me a free Scald again. I go for Scald again, trying to catch Gliscor, because I still didn't realize that Gliscor is not EQ. And Cradily comes in, I'm like, yeah, fuck, fuck me. I'm bad, I'm really bad. And yeah, I switch out into my Lando, knowing he's going for Rocks. Or Rocks, yeah, he even goes for the Rock Slide. I don't know if he wanted to like catch something there, but puts me at 11%, which is unfortunate. I can't go for the Earthquake here. And he gets up his Rocks. Now I can defog, obviously, but if this Cradily was toxic, I would have won the following exchange here, because now he's going. Oh no, it's not yet. But if he was toxic, he would have been lower, would have negated lefties, and he would have been in range of another EQ first and foremost. But he can't bring Gliscor again. I keep this Lando to come in hard on Cradily again. As he knocks, gets a crit on my thingy here, which is kind of unfortunate. But who cares? I go for the Volt Switch this time, trying to catch a Cradily, but I get power predicted again, and he goes for another knock, maybe trying to predict a double. Goes for the Roost now, I don't know why. It probably was a misclick or something. But I go for the Scald to 58. And now I think I go for Scald again, just trying to keep this Gliscor low. As he goes Cradily. Again, if it was toxic, it would have been a lot lower at like 40 already. But what can you do? He gets up his Rocks again. I go for the defog, and now he's gonna click Toxic on my defog, which makes me lose this exchange, makes him keep up Rocks, which is unfortunate, but not the end of the world. Like, my Volcarona can still win even with the Rocks up, and this Cradily being low is absolutely fantastic for Volk and for Finny. I can go for a free knock here on the Sis, but this thing gets on the Gliscor. This thing gets so much back. He has a free Roost here, but I will use this as an opportunity to go for a Calm Mind, predicting him to sack the Cradily on this turn, which is exactly what he does. And Moonblast is blow away this fucker into another dimension, so that's pretty clean. Cradily is gone. It was an annoying Mon, it was really, really annoying. Now I have 3 Scalds with my Lantern. I go for Protected to scout his move, knowing that he's Bandit, and he goes for Extreme Speed. I'm like, do I want to stay in? And I'm like, yeah, I do. If he gets parried, I pretty much win right here. And if he hits me, I'm still out of range. Out of range of a Rotom, T-Ball, or Volt Switch. I'm out of range of Gliscor, obviously. And if he goes Marwile, I can go Hard Volk and see from there. And having this knocked out is pretty nice for Volk, because now he can't bop me with E-Speed after I take Rocks. So that's pretty clean. The 42% is like stupid damage, but what can you do? I get a 65, and he goes into Marwile. And here I really want to click Protect to get some more lefties back, but I also don't want to give him a free Sword Stance, which is a play like on his part, because it would make him capitalize on me going for Protect, which would be a choke on my end. So don't wanna choke this game away. So I go Volk. See Mega Evolves, goes for the Player Up. That's 39%. So this is big body Volt. Like this is a fat motherfucker, and he gets burned on the flame body, which is nice. Which means I can go for the roost here as he goes Rotom. I think I roost up again. Yeah, showing that I outspeed, so he was a very slow Rotom. He Volt switches out, and yeah, this game is over now that he goes Gliscor. Goes for knock for 18%. I can quiver up here and finish off this game. Quiver again. His Rotom, he told me during the game, like early in the game, that's like his Rotom got, or like one of his sets got messed up, and he said he was like toxic on Rotom over HPS. Like he wasn't toxic on over HPS, but he had like toxic on this Rotom, but he for some reason had um, HPS twice in this set, which is unfortunate. It happens in custom game because we have to play custom game because Monty evolved up to level 50 and shit like that, and I don't like Draft Frontier, so we have to play on custom game, but yeah, like I don't think um, it made it too big of a difference because even like even if he got a toxic on Lantern, it still would have done a very good job versus him, and the toxic wouldn't have prevented a Volcarona sweep here in this game. So um, goes for the sucker. Obviously, there's only 21 to me, and I bob it with the flamethrower, and that's a game we win after um, 61 turns, like super long game. We win 5-0, which definitely doesn't indicate really how close this match was. We had a lot of my stuff very low. Like Scissor at like 70, Bronzong at 30, Lantern at half. So he played a very strong game. I felt like it took me forever to realize this Gliscor wasn't EQ, but at some point I figured it out and kept it low with, or tried to keep it low with Scarlet from Lantern. But yeah, the Square League was super annoying, but I'm glad I clutched out a win. So that's week 7. Next up, we face our boy Tyler, aka Fanabase. Should be a fun one. He has an annoying squad, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. I actually made some drops after this week. I dropped Celebi and Beware as well as Gothorita, which picked up for Primeape, which is my new Z Captain, Reuniclus, and Weezing. So should be fun additions to the squad, and we'll see how that goes. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. Leave a like and a comment if you enjoyed, and I'll catch you in the next.